calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up low. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese is on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah! What's going on, all you scallywags? You nutmeggers! Conversationalists across the fruited plain, young, old, and in between. And of course, you haters. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. Always a pleasure to be here with you. Reese on the radio loves you all. He does. Haters too. Love them all. Gotta have them. I totally appreciate them. Some of them, not a big fan, although they should be. They should be big fans. I make them better. Or at least I'd expect. I expect to make you better. As you make me better. The haters make me better. Lets me know I'm over the target. And I'm not an angry guy. I used to be. I'm not. I'm very content now. I can tell you right off the bat, alcohol in my life fueled my anger and hatred. I was the biggest hater in the world. Roland still calls me a hater. He called me a hater this morning. We'll talk about it. What'd you call me, a bona fide hater? What was the super hater? He called me super hater. Yes. But I don't have any hate. I can hate on things, but not people. It's easy to hate on things. You know, like I can hate a stupid pot that Roseanne wants to buy, a terracotta pot. I hate those things. I do. Especially because she always wants to buy the little mini ones, right? The one that looks like a Hershey's Kiss was born in one. She buys them, and the darn things cost $10 a pop. This little terracotta pot. It's like, what are you going to grow in that? You're going to put a sunflower seed in that? What's that for? You can grow one thing. So, yes, there are things that I hate, but I don't hate people. They make it easy to hate them, but I don't. I get frustrated with people. And today was no different. Before I get into the person who frustrated me today, I kind of want to give a little bit of props to someone. Now, you're all going to be stunned and surprised, but guess what? Even a broken clock is right twice a day. For a minute, it's right twice a day. So let's set everything aside while I just give props to an individual for doing something considerate and reasonable. And that goes out to the Lieutenant Governor, Miss Susan Bysiewicz. Now, let me explain what happened. A couple of weeks ago, Adam 12 was at an event where it was just after President Trump had revealed these, or was going to declassify all of these documents as they related to the 2020 election with China and how it affected Connecticut and the whole 9 yards. And then, of course, the top tier of the Lamont administration, along with the Secretary of the State, Stephanie Thomas, were all there to discuss, no, don't worry about our elections. They're all secure. Well, Adam 12 was there and wanted to ask a question on my behalf because the press conference was later in the day and I couldn't be at both places. I needed to be here and couldn't be there. Well, when he stood up, Susan Bysiewicz said to him, "We are only taking questions from real media." Weird that someone would say that. There is no such thing. Any person who wished to ask, especially someone whom she serves, Adam 12 being one of them. He lives in the state. She is the lieutenant governor of the state. He can go there and ask questions in his capacity as a citizen, much less on my behalf, but he can go there and ask a question. He is a legitimate member of the press, just walking up there and holding up his cell phone. It's case law on it. And he was dismissed. And Susan Byasiewicz, the lieutenant governor, walked up to me. When I say walked up to me, not like we bumped into each other. She saw me, made a beeline, walked right over to me, extended her hand. And all I said was, as soon as I saw her coming to me, I said, yeah, somebody knows who I am. She walked up to me and she shook my hand. I shook hers and I said, Lieutenant Governor, good to see you. And she says, I just want to apologize. I want to apologize to the gentleman who came to the event before and I was dismissive, and I apologize for that. I said, I will extend that apology. I said, but none needed towards me, but I will let him know. So Adam 12, she apologizes. And she was graceful about it. So, now, that's out of the way. Now let's get to the meat. If you have not joined us in the last couple of days, and I know that many of you don't get a chance to, but you probably know about the Melissa Ramirez case. And by all accounts, and let's just say what we know here, or at least what we've been led to believe here, are a certain set of facts until we get to the bottom of them. This is what we know. Is that according to all reports, there are two women named Melissa Ramirez Romano. And in some confusion, a Romano or Ramirez with the same name and birth date out of New Britain had her driver's license number associated with a Melissa Ramirez of Stafford, who was in the fatal car crash that killed an off-duty police officer, his girlfriend, the mother of three. The Connecticut Sentinel and Blue Lives Matter posted the information they received on the story, in particular, the driver's license number that was placed on the warrant for the Melissa Ramirez who was involved in the accident. Upon further investigation of said driver's license that the Danbury police put on the warrant, which led to them finding that same driver's license associated with what they tell us is a New Britain woman who is registered to vote as an unaffiliated and voted in 3 elections in the 20, 22, and 24 elections. That's where we are. And the only thing we're asking is, if this woman in New Britain is not the woman who has been incarcerated, please, that woman, we would love it if you would appear. Just wave your hands. Because what's making all of this very difficult for people to swallow is the fact that a police officer on the scene on July 13th says in a sworn affidavit that he checked the NCIC/collect program, which is in every cruiser, looked up the name and date of birth of the individual they had at the hospital to find out if she had a driver's license or any other warrants or any other infractions. This is all a part of the investigation. Who is this person? Does she have other DUIs? Does she have any other involvement in the law? Should we keep her and handcuff her while we have her in custody at the hospital? That's what he's looking it up for. It's all a part of the investigation. How did it happen? What was she doing? Was she intoxicated? Did she fall asleep? Whatever it is, they're doing their due diligence. And with that, this driver's license ends up on the information all the way up until the warrant for her arrest. Mind you, for 11 days, an investigation is ongoing. That's how we get to the warrant. And at no time between July 13th and the execution of the warrant, 11 days later on July 24th, has any officer said, hey, checked NCIC, saw the victim, saw the perpetrator, and said, she doesn't look like this person that I saw in the system. Never once is it uttered. Not even a suggestion. And now we're to believe that they're two different people. Okay. They tell us the investigation was thorough, but no one is saying They just keep saying, she doesn't have a license, she doesn't have a license. No one is saying, my bad. The only thing they're saying is that the Connecticut Sentinel and Blue Lives Matter are spreading misinformation. The Secretary of State openly said that the evidence that was produced by the Connecticut Sentinel and then spread by Blue Lives Matter was manipulated. Manipulated so poorly that her 83-year-old mother would have recognized it. They also suggested that the real Melissa Ramirez of New Britain was being threatened. For what? I don't know. She getting death threats. For what? I don't know. The nature of the death threats? I don't know. But everyone is releasing a statement, but no one's answering questions. No one has made themselves available to answer questions. And by the way, no one, with the exception of a few, are calling the offices of the governor or the Secretary of State to ask them directly, what is going on? Now, I don't know about you, but I told these folks, stop holding press conferences. Not if you don't want me there. Why would you be there? You know I'm coming. 10 o'clock in the morning in West Hartford? Farmington's right next door. You know I'm coming. You know I'm going to be there. Okay, fine. I know you're afraid of nothing. Fine. But with that, you had to know that the question was coming up. It's a big news story. Right? So we asked the governor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you get to hear directly from him whether or not Melissa Ramirez was threatened. That's the innocent woman, they're claiming, out of New Britain. And who is responsible for the misinformation? Right out of the governor's mouth.
Governor, with regards to the Ramirez case, we have what is many are calling a mistaken identity, two women with the same name and the birth dates, which caused a lot of confusion and some, as you called it, misreporting on the woman who's charged in the fatal death of a police officer and a mother of three with an innocent woman living in New Britain. Your statement that was released, I think, a day ago says that the innocent woman is receiving death threats. Can you tell me what the nature of those threats were?
No, you got to check with the police on that.
Okay, well, it was your statement. I'm trying to figure out do you know the nature of those threats?
No, I said please check with the police on that.
Okay, so your statement was incomplete? I'm not understanding.
No, I just said please check with the police. You said what is the exact nature of those threats? I said please check with the police on that.
And where did you get the information that the young lady was being threatened?
From my team.
Okay. You heard him, folks. His statement came from his team, who told him that the woman was being threatened. Just so everyone makes it clear, what do I tell you about asking your subject a question? Always know the answer before they give it. Now, I knew that the governor had no idea what the nature of the threats were. It was obvious he had no idea. So what I am about to do to him is going to devastate him.
Okay, so your team says, okay, so we'll need to follow up on exactly what those threats were. Are you aware that the New Britain police says that they met with the innocent woman in New Britain and asked her specifically if she has been receiving death threats, and she says no?
That's right. The New Britain police told Adam 12 that they met with her. Whether or not they did, I'm not certain. I can't speak for them. But they told Adam 12 that they met with her and asked her specifically if she was being threatened. That was the nature of their welfare check. And she said no. In fact, her answer was, according to the New Britain police, she is being harassed by the media, not threatened. Now, I already knew that, but I also knew the governor had no idea. Because, again, it's not about following up. It's about pushing a narrative. And he's been busted. So watch what the governor does.
I think more to the point, don't jump to conclusions. I did think it was really unprofessional for the press to jump to conclusions, confusing one woman with the other. The person that did this never voted, driving illegally. You got to get your facts right, or else innocent people can be put at risk.
So he immediately deflects and goes towards the media, which was the important narrative by the governor and the Secretary of the State, was that this was done by the media. They are the ones at fault. He couldn't answer to the fact that he didn't know that the woman had already come forward to police, according to New Britain, and was not being threatened. He's embarrassed, so he has to deflect. He could have said, I didn't know that. But he wants to go back to his original point. It was the news media. Again, the Connecticut Sentinel. I could not let that stand.
Those facts and questions were provided by the Danbury police when they provided a warrant with the innocent woman's driver's license, which led to the confusion. It seems that many people are blaming the press for reacting to the actual police work the Danbury police put out.
Trust but verify. Check the facts.
Okay, which is what everyone did, because the driver's license ended up not only on the original affidavit, but all the way to the warrant 11 days later. From July 13th till the 24th, the same driver's license appeared on there. We know that the officer checked the NCIC information on Melissa Ramirez, the woman who's been charged, and also met with the defendant in the hospital, and never once says in the affidavit that he was confused or somehow saw a misidentification.
Now, I laid everything out to him. I've given him the evidence as it appears in the affidavit. I know it by heart. He now knows, and he cannot escape, that this is all the result of the Danbury Police Department. That's why the press printed what they printed. So I want to see if the governor will recant blaming the media and say that the Danbury Police Department are the ones who caused this. But it's Governor Lamont.
Look, you can go back to history. I would tell everybody we got it wrong. This woman is innocent, and let's stop talking about her. Get her out of the press.
Okay, so now you're admitting that the Danbury police got it wrong, and the reporting on it was
enough.
You heard that? You heard that? He knows he just stuck himself. Hypodermic needle right in the arm. He stuck himself. We got it wrong. That's the quote.
Look, you can go back to history. I would tell everybody we got it wrong. This woman is innocent, and let's stop talking about her. Get her out of the press.
Okay, so now you're admitting that the Danbury police got it wrong, and the reporting on it was
enough. Anybody else?
No, there's no. Why would you think not to answer that question,
anything, sir?
No,
I'm just trying
the
to answer
Danbury
your
police
provocative questions.
So now he's frustrated, and he's now calling my questions provocative. They're just asking. I'm asking the facts to the story. They're provocative. I got to take a break. We'll be back more on this when we return, and how this ends. You'll love it. It's Reese on the radio.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, back. Reese on the radio here. I keep forgetting that opening monologue. If I don't get to it, the time will just creep up on me. Anyway, if you're just joining us, and I'll say it again, this has to do with the misidentification, as it's being called by the Lamont administration and the Secretary of the State and others, that a woman named Melissa Ramirez that lives in New Britain was falsely accused of being the woman who had driven drunk and killed a police officer at Bridgeport and his girlfriend, a mother of three. And and many people might be asking the question, like, why have such a vice grip on this story? And I don't blame you for getting into that with me, the Connecticut Sentinel, Blue Lives Matter, Republicans even. I've got no issue with that. And those of you who are conservatives, if you think, like, if you become defensive because people are asking, it's like, why are you so dogged on this? Let me help you out in responding to these folks who will, and again, legitimately asking the question. because I know why they asked me. And so I will tell them. And it is real simple. Connecticut has a problem with their voter rolls. And that is not the fault of those who have questions about it. No matter how you slice it, ladies and gentlemen, this is on the Lamont administration. This is on the Secretary of State. This is on William Tong, the Attorney General. This is on Susan Bicewicz. This is on the legislature. Democrats writ large in this state. Why? Because everyone here only wants one thing, transparency. And they have gone to great lengths to eliminate that from the people of Connecticut. And they know it. Now, the fact that people won't report on it, who cares? The facts are the facts. And they can report on it because every one of the reports are there. They were all there as they were flashing their cameras as they signed a bill for no excuse absentee ballots, knowing what happened in Bridgeport. As after years dealing with that case, one guy has finally pled guilty. Wanda Pataki sits around waiting for a trial. We've got no answers on it. While that went down there, where everybody acted like, that's Bridgeport, saying that Bridgeport is like New York. Don't put that on me. Matt Caron, formerly of Fox 61, told me that personally. That the newsroom in Fox 61 was telling him that that was practically a New York story. He doesn't work for you anyway. That's over. You didn't care about it, and you didn't think the rest of us cared about it. Everyone thought it was just a joke. It isn't a joke. The fraud is for real. And it's habitual. As I told you yesterday, you had the 2004 case where there were DMV workers who were lining their pockets getting people driver's licenses. We have Seo Sekunjanen, and to suggest to us, as if we are the stupidest people in the world, that he was a one-off, a guy who came into the country illegally in 1997, had the ability to get a valid driver's license, and had been renewing it for 30 years. Okay? Renewing it. While he was trying to get a green card and had a deportation order, he was still on the DMV rolls and registered to vote. You're going to sit up here and tell me that we didn't have a right to question you when we find this woman's driver's license on a warrant? You are the people who laid all of this out for every one of us and then had the nerve to turn it back on us. How dare you find it suspicious? We've done nothing wrong. Technically, that's all you've ever done. That's all you ever did was get it wrong. And let's not ignore the most obvious thing in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Overwhelmingly, Democrats, Hispanics, blacks, conservatives, and independents want voter integrity with voter ID. And then after that polling data, you bozos had the audacity to make a rule that says photo ID for 1,000 or more cans and bottles at recycling bins to avoid people from out of state making an extra nickel. We made a song about it to mock you. The fact that you would even so much is to look me square in the face to say that I got nothing to go on. Folks, I'm pulling this stuff off the top of my head, and I've only lived here since October. Everybody knows this is true. And you can say that it's about fighting the Trump administration, but you're not fighting him, folks. You're fighting us. You're fighting every one of us here, Democrats, independents, progressives alike. because you hold the keys and you think that we're not owed any transparency, that you don't owe us anything. You people have the audacity to show up at a No Kings rally while you keep everything close to the chest and say, yeah, we're here to represent you, but when we feel like it. And if you question us, you dismiss us? Enough, you say to us? Governor Lamont, enough? What do you mean enough? Enough what? Accountability? Perhaps this job is too big for you. Perhaps the tough questions are too much. Maybe you've gotten so old and curmudgeon-y, you don't think that some old whippersnapper from New York has the right to ever question you. Enough. Our questions aren't provocative. They're rooted in fact. Your entire office knows. Everybody knows. Everyone who watched it knows. You screwed up. That's why you admitted it. We screwed up. And when I called you on it, just to get you to say, because that's all it took, we made a mistake. That was too much for you. Because you think you were giving me a win. No, it had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with conservatives. It damn sure had nothing to do with Donald Trump. It just had to do with admitting a mistake. You could have used that and gone a mile with it. Can you imagine how much decency you would have gotten from the American people, much less nutmeggers, if you had just said it was our mistake and the news media was responding to a mistake that was made by the Danbury police? They've corrected it, and I'd like to move on. I would have moved on. But you had the audacity to be defiant about evidence you know is true. They screwed up, and I had the facts on my side. And they were inconvenient for you, as they are inconvenient for your administration, as they are inconvenient for the Secretary of the State, as it is inconvenient for the Danbury Police Department. Again, every one of the people I just mentioned need to be held accountable. Who are they accountable to? Us. But you're all acting like, how dare we? The reason why I'm getting the praise that I'm getting is for all of the people who are now going online, watching the video and resharing it, and it's getting the thousands and thousands of views and the hundreds and hundreds of shares. I want you to look at them. I want your team to look at the comments. Take a moment, because I know when you guys get your articles put out in the newspaper, whatever it is, you guys will turn the comments off. What I would say is go out there, toughen up a little bit, and go read the comments on my pages. And tell me what you see. It's the same theme. Finally, someone is holding them accountable. Finally. That shouldn't be a reflection of me. That should be a reflection of you. If there are people out there who are saying that you are finally being held to account, it should mean something. Anybody with an ounce of integrity, maybe even some humility, would look around at their team and go, guys, we have a credibility problem. Let's work on it. Instead, you get angry. At who? Who are you angry with? You can't be with me. Come on, man. It was T-ball for me. It was easy. You've made it easy. Every one of you. You all made it easy. Can I explain to you why? I'll go this far as to say, you want to know why you made it easy? You're not prepared. You're not prepared. You don't care enough. You think these things are incidental. You think they're trifling. You do it so often you don't even care anymore. And every time I'm going to catch you slipping. because I give a damn, because I care. I have to. I have to care. It is my job to hold you to account. That's my job here. Because if you thought it was, why can't he just go on the radio and complain like the rest of them? No, that's not what I do. There's nothing original about that. I'm sorry that I'm made different. But I would just say this. Get your team together and put out a proper statement. Get it over with. Apologize to the Connecticut Sentinel and Blue Lives Matter. Just say the Danbury Police Department caused this, and the Sentinel and Blue Lives Matter were responding to the information provided by the police department. They've corrected it, and we'd like to move on. I promise you, every one of those folks will move on. They're still going to investigate. But it would be decent of you to at least say, we apologize for accusing the news or reporters or elected officials for a mistake made by the police department. It's called accountability. Look it up. We'll be back.
It's Reese on the radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
Okay, we got to find a way to work the, the temperature in this building. Is it cool in there with you? Because, oh, goodness gracious, it's like a sauna in here. Yeah, well, you know what it is? Can I tell you? I want to tell you a little secret. This is, I don't know why I'm revealing this, but I need to, I always say that my life is kind of an open book. So a lot of people don't know this. So I am so passionate about this job. I really do. I really love this job. And when I'm when I'm in the zone, my body temperature goes way up because I'm like exhilarated. Because what's happening, my brain is working overtime, and a lot of the stuff, as Rama likes to say, I have this recall that he deems amazing. I mean, I guess I have a pretty good recall because I can remember, dates, times, events, and all that other stuff. So as it's happening, my blood pressure goes up a little bit, and then I start to perspire.
Oh, yeah.
And it's...
So is that like the men form of...
menopause?
Menopause?
No.
Why do they call it... What?
Menopause?
Why do they call it menopause if it's for women?
Because when a woman's going through it, menopause, and not talk to her, and get near her.
Is that why?
No. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, but I'm just... It's one of those things where I get so excited as it's happening, and my not my blood pressure. It's really the energy in my body. It goes up, and I'm there. And the moments that are going through me, I can't believe I'm going to say this. So I go blind. I don't know if anybody knows this. I go blind. I look at the camera, and I forget where I am. I am transported to whatever I'm talking about, so I can visualize everything as it's going through my mind. So I forget I'm on camera, and sometimes the only thing I really know is that I am on the air, and I'm talking to probably like 1 million people. And I'm conveying. So when you hear me talking to Ned Lamont, when I'm sort of, going through my monologue, I'm really talking to him. In my mind, he's sitting across from me. And I don't know, it's a very weird place that I go to. And a lot of people see my passion or can tell my passion, but that's what it is. So I'm sitting here sweating because
getting all worked up.
Yeah,
You know what? The hat and the headphones don't.
They don't help.
They don't take away from.
No, they don't.
When you start getting hot.
Yeah, it's it's so funny. I will tell you this. So as I'm asking Ned Lamont the questions, as he is starting to get agitated, I'm starting to get angry. And the reason why I'm getting angry is because the woman next to him goes, "Does anybody else have any questions?" To which my response is, damn well nobody's got any questions here. You know damn well that nobody comes here to ask questions. It was me and Mark Paz from the Connecticut Mirror.
Oh, they set it up so nobody...
Yeah, nobody ever shows up. Why? Because he's there to grandstand about what? You want to know what this guy was there bragging about today? Because we're going to get into it in the next hour. He was bragging about you know what? I'm just going to ask you a question. When's the last time you worked hourly wage? When's the last time? Can you remember?
That I worked hourly wage?
Yeah, hourly wage.
Right now.
Oh, you work hourly now?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay, yeah. I never do that. Okay, so let me put it to you this way. What would $23, if you worked minimum wage, what would $23.60 a week do for you?
If I worked
minimum wage,
that would be a huge increase. Minimum wage is $16.
No. Every week you got a fifth. Remember, your hourly raise is 59 cents an hour, which accounts to $23.60 extra in your paycheck. You're not saying it goes up from 16 to 23. No.
You're saying an extra
$50, yes, in your paycheck at the end of the week, you get another $23.60. What would that do for you in your paycheck?
Gas for a day or two?
Maybe a day or two. Do you know what that counts to in a month? A month's paycheck? About $94. $94 a month. That's how much it is. They tell you in the press release it's $102. But they're counting 3 months of the year where there are, 4 months of the year where there are 5 weeks.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But it actually works to just about $94 a month.
I'm trying to see if there's one bill that I have.
Not one. I already checked.
That's $102.
Your phone bill, with you, your wife, and your daughter's cell phone bill, that's $125 the average cost. Your cable bill, $129. Basic cable.
We don't even have cable.
That's what I'm saying. You stream, right? Yeah. But
and
okay.
Our internet bill is like $115.
Okay. So you would probably be able to pay that bill with the 24. That's what they were bragging about today. And then I asked them, and I'm going to play the audio. I asked them about no tax on tips and no tax on overtime, which would expand the amount of people they wish to get relief on. Wait until you find out what percentage of the workforce in Connecticut they were bragging about helping today. I couldn't believe it. And they were standing in front of a Big Y, and Big Y stood up there going, nothing against those guys, but I know you got to do it because you got to help the governor.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why you're so.
I'm so worked up, dude. Because again, I know what it's like to be the working poor. I know what it's like to be the working poor. I worked at $8 an hour, $10 an hour. In 2013, when I worked for U-Haul, I was making $10 an hour when I started the first year.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
I just realized I have to do something that's important. A public service announcement from Reese on the radio to you, the great listeners here in the state of Connecticut. Okay, I still need you to vote against Ned Lamont and get him out of office. And there's a reason why I have to give this public service announcement. It looks like you guys really enjoy my back and forth with the governor. And you sound like you want more of it. I do not. The objective is for you to see who the man is and to vote him out. Okay? So I don't want you to be so enamored. Like, finally, someone's holding his feet to the fire. I'm going to give him 4 more years. Don't do that. That's not my intent. Not about me. Not about me. Not about me. I do, listen. I said this before, and we have a lot of new listeners now, and I want to applaud them. Thank you for joining the program. And when I say the numbers of people who are joining online, following the show, it is over. Did I tell you yesterday? I said a little more than a month ago, the Reese on the Radio page of my first encounter with Lamont about the people of color has gotten such new attention. Again, that was on May 15th. It ran for a month. On my personal page, it had 369,000 views. That's epic. That's viral. Once you go over 250,000, you're viral. So that was great, and I was very impressed by that. Clearly, a conversation about people of color and Ned Lamont suggesting they were afraid to vote got a lot of attention, and I'm very happy for that reporting. I'm glad that it spread so much. But on my personal page, which again is supposed to kind of have a smaller following, had 47,000. Still pretty good for any page. and even the year for WTIC. I don't think that any of our because it's news radio, and it's tempered, following stuff like that. So any page with 47,000 views on it is a good day. But then last Thursday, it got a resurgence out of nowhere. It is now sitting, that video, on my Reese on the Radio show page. It is now sitting at 135,000 views, 136,000 views. From 47, which it had stopped a month over, like May 15th to June 15th. May to June 15th. It only garnered 47,000 views, and then it was dormant. And then this past Thursday, somebody caught it, and it's literally, I can't stop getting responses from it and reshares. And now it's up to 130. So all in all, in both pages, it is well over 500,000 views. And then I go on X today, and there's this woman by the name of Christy Bond, and I guess she is very popular. She has over 413,000 followers, one of them being none other than the FBI director, Kash Patel. Libs of TikTok follow her, like some big names people follow. Well, today, she posted that same exchange on her page, and in an hour, I think 4 hours, I think it had well over 5,000 views. I get nothing like that on X. But now people are like, radio host Reese Hopkins questioned Lamont about coloreds. I think that's what the title says. So apparently it's gaining some ground. And that's good. Because again, like I said, this is not about me. I've got a goal. So you know. These guys can make it about me, because I think a lot of them think that's what it is. They think it was like, well, this guy Reese is really making a name for himself. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. This has nothing to do with me. This has everything to do with you. You guys asked, what are we going to do? Reese, what are we going to do? Some of you said, Reese, what can you do? And I said, we can do something. I refused to give up. I just did. I just refused. And I told you that I want to be a part of it. I wanted to contribute. I hope I have. I hope I continue to. That's the job. I was just here talking to Rex from our sister station, Hot 937. I was just telling him, I work on this job every day like I'm fighting for my life. And it's true. A lot of people don't know this. Ask Allison. This job, you wake up tomorrow morning, somebody in corporate says, we're cutting that day part. I'm out on my behind. So I am trying to make myself indispensable. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that when it gets to that point and somebody says, we think we're going to have to let you go, then you guys will turn around and be like, no! Like you'll revolt. Well, that's the way I look at my job. Is that I've got to keep bringing it every day. You have no idea when I walk out of here. If the show doesn't feel good, I beat myself up for 4 hours. Sitting at home talking about what I could have done better. And then I get right back to the drawing board. Got to do better. Got to get this. Got to get that. So it is important to me. I hope you realize that, and I hope you realize that in the work that I do. And you have, and you've shown me a great deal of support when I see you out in the street. You give me the greatest gift ever, and that is your support of the show. And I tell you, you guys know it. If you've met me, I shake your hand, and I tell you thank you for supporting the show. It means everything to us. So, it is Christy, Kristi, and Bond is spelled Bonne with a hyphen at the end of E, if you look on X. So I'm not really familiar with her. I know I've seen her around, and she's shown up on my feed before. I'm not familiar with her, though, but she shared it today. And you can look it up as well. Thank you for that, Deb. And thank you, Alex. We appreciate it. And Wendy, I understand that it is your birthday, and happy birthday to you. I love all my August Leo babies. I make fun of the boy because he's a Leo, but he's July 31st, so I call him a fake Leo. Just him. It bothers him. My poet laureate, Fred in Middletown's on the line. How you doing, boss?
Hey, I'm good. I have a very brief poem, but first, going forward, you're going to need a full-time vocabulary coach, I'm thinking. No, that's a joke.
Yes, sir.
With great power comes great responsibility. Wayne Allen Root was spitting your licensed driver, voter, drunk cop killer bit the other night.
Was he? Yes, Wayne Allen Root. Yes, he was.
He didn't mention you. He knows Lee Elsey in Connecticut. I'm thinking, he's doing Reese's bit. It's just a matter of time.
It's okay. Like I said, it's so true. My wife will tell me all the time. She goes, "I bet you Jesse Waters is gonna ask you to be on the show." I'm just like, sweetheart, please don't wish for that.
No. And there's this thing, dude. Let me think. There's a great quote. The penalty of success is to be bored by the people who used to snub you. You wait for these people to come on your show. Yeah, that's where this is going. One quick shot and into the poem. I'm thinking if you possibly could, you want a set of drums in your house.
A set of drums? Why?
Yeah. Well, to let off,
Oh, some steam.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I will do? You're 100% right. You know what I've had my eye on, Fred? Those electronic drums that you put, you wear the headphones for, because then you don't really, you don't disrupt the neighbors.
Yes, there's that. I would never, that wouldn't do it for me. I need like a real drum, just like I need iron weights, that concrete and plastic.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah. You like the smell of the iron. So here's the poem.
Yes, sir.
It's called What's Up with Anastasia Yop.
Ooh.
In 2 words, don't ask. That's don't as in do not, as in Gordian knot, as in good luck trying to untie that. However, unto me I bid you hark, whilst I takest a shot in the dark. In this case, one huge clue was that the dog did bark. Thank you. That might be an inside joke.
No, it wasn't. Well, it's not an inside joke to me. It may be to others, though.
All right, we'll leave it an inside joke to anyone who didn't get it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
You got it. So the minimum wage. I got to tackle this because I would imagine that the governor wants to help more people who are struggling in this economy. The governor talks often about how much people are paying for gas, about how the war in Iran is affecting everyday folks. They have an affordability campaign. Democrats all over the fruited plain. So when I heard about today's press conference, I couldn't wait to get there. And I wanted to ask a simple question about all that the administration is doing to help people who are in need. And so this press conference was to talk about the new minimum wage that is going to happen next year. Which is weird because I looked it up. Usually that is set aside for October before the election. But out of desperation by the Lamont administration, they decided to do it today, just days before primary. Now, I'm sorry, folks, that sounds desperate to all of us wonks who follow politics. Mark Paz of the Connecticut Mirror asked that, and I didn't want to step on him, but he did ask, and it'll be in his reporting today. He found it very odd. We get this alert usually in October. Are we not supposed to find it odd that you would mention it just a few days before the primary? And they said, their answer was, it was purely coincidental. They try to play it off like it had never happened. It never, no. Well, we do it, of course we do it in August. It's always in October. I looked it up. When I mentioned today there was a press conference about it, Grok told me, no, that announcement usually happens in October. So somebody's desperate. Anyway, set that aside. Now, they already passed a bill in 2019 that brought the minimum wage up to the level that it is now, which again was an extra 59 cents per hour on minimum wage makers' paycheck, which meant at the end of the week, they would see $23.60 added to their paycheck a week. That number comes out to about, I think, $93.40 in a month. It's scrap. But the part that really makes all of this so sad is that the governor's doing a victory lap on this. When this minimum wage increase only affects about 10% of those who are in the working class. 1.7 million people are part of the labor force in Connecticut. 1.7. That's odd considering we have a population of 3.6 million, but okay. So 1.7 million. This was only going to affect, on the high end, 200,000 folks. On the low end, about 160,000. So I asked the question, well, you know what? Let me just play the question that I asked, because I thought it was relevant to all of this. And who is it? Yeah. I think the woman that I am speaking to here is a woman by the name of Dante Bartolomeo. She is there, and I'm asking her and another woman this question. I don't know who the other woman is, but she is a state senator. I don't remember her name, but whatever. This is the exchange.
We're working to help struggling families in the state. Why have we not done more? This wage increase helps about 10% of the workforce.
Anyone else?
Yeah, sure. If we're working to help struggling families in the state, why have we not done more? This wage increase helps about 10% of the workforce. Why have we not adopted no taxes on tips and overtime?
Now, it's important that you know why I asked that question. No taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime clearly would help those struggling. Because, again, this only helps 10% of the workforce. Well, they answered.
Well, what I can say is that this actually impacts and benefits 160,000 to 200,000 people in the state of Connecticut. That's quite a significant number.
Yeah, it's 10%. I mean, no taxes on tips and no taxes on overtime is a significant part of the workforce in Connecticut. Why not help those families?
So her answer to me was that the people that they are helping is a significant amount of people. When I heard it, I could only think of This Is Spinal Tap. Do you remember that line?
These go to 11.
These go to 11. I'm like, yeah, you could have helped more people with no taxes on tip. Her response was,
these go to 11.
Anyway, she continued.
Well, we've been trying to help working families in Connecticut, and we've done a really good job of it. Since I got there in 2019, I think we've passed probably more than 100 bills that help working families. And one of the things we didn't talk about that I know the governor's really proud about is the paid family medical leave program, which does tremendous work for people. On the issue of tips and tipped workers, we have had bills related to tipped workers. I think they're very important. We've taken a different approach on it. We've taken an approach of saying maybe we need to look at why they're still stuck at $6.38 an hour, and maybe we should be raising the minimum wage for tipped workers.
Now, that would probably help, but they could have done that. They chose not to. I mean, it is their legislature, right? It's a supermajority. They hadn't even thought of it. But they're bragging about, again, only assisting 10% of the workforce.
That's something we're going to definitely keep looking at. And to me, that's something that will help those workers the most. So I think we're looking at all these issues, and the Labor Committee certainly takes it seriously. We work hard to make sure every session we pass a lot of bills to help working families. But for tipped workers, I think that's one of the key issues we have to look at.
Now, again, 10% of the workforce is being helped by this minimum wage increase. But clearly, they could assist more people. If you had included those tipped workers, not just waiters and waitresses, tipped workers, all of them, you would expand that to guess how much of the workforce? A cool, reasonable, and I would even say an acceptable 25 to 30% of the workforce. Instead, they're taking a victory lap over 10%. Instead of just saying, we can't give up their tax revenue. We can't, because they don't want to give a tax break to those folks. Because this legislature and this governor are greedy.
Is part of the reason because it's part of the Trump Big Beautiful Bill?
It's also really important to understand what the tip credit is. The tip credit is just that, so that if a wait staff do not make, between their tips, if they do not make the minimum wage, the employer must balance that out.
That's a good point. She says if they don't make the amount that they're supposed to, that the employer has to make up the cost. Well, I asked her a damn good question afterwards, but we got to take a break. We'll come back. We'll play some more of this on the other side of the hour. Go nowhere, even if you need to. Come on back, all right? Do whatever you got to do and come on back. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Spider-Man. Hey, he's your friendly neighborhood Reese on the radio. Right now on News Talk 1080, WTIC.
Back, Reese on the radio. Spider-Man review happening today. Not that anybody cares, but I want to talk about it a little bit with Roland, who went to go see it last night. I'm assuming with the family. Not happy, but that's okay. We'll just get to the phones. Tony is calling from Southington. How you doing, sir? Tony? Was he on hold for too long? That's okay. We'll go to Steve. Steve is calling from Canaan, I guess. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, man. God's country.
Hey, there you go. All right, throw my volume down because I'm getting an echo. There you go. Nope, that's still up.
Okay.
Yeah, can you turn? Yeah, because I'm going to get my own voice in the background. That's okay. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. So it's like first time I got a chance to talk to you.
Okay.
Long-time listener. But I beg to differ, bro. The only thing I disagreed with you is how this minimum wage increase only affects 10%. It affects everybody. That's the inflation we've been getting.
Good point. Well, I don't know why that is, but I think you need to put me on mute because that's going to come back to me. I don't know why, but it sounds awful. Anyway, I will say this. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. It's piercing through my ears. Yeah, it does affect everybody. It definitely affects the employers, which is the point I was going to get to in a second. I want to fast forward this audio so I can get to it. Let me do this. Yes. Get right about here in my exchange with Dante.
So even tipped workers, while the tip credit remains the same, they still benefit from a higher minimum wage.
Isn't that the same thing by raising the minimum wage? Doesn't that happen with the employer with raising of the minimum wage?
Yeah, so she makes this case that if the tip workers don't make that certain amount, that the pretty much the cost goes right back to the employer. Making that argument makes no sense because the raising of the minimum wage goes to the employer anyway. Right? So the employer doesn't have the option after the fact. It happens before the fact. And what he has to do in order to compensate for that raise is, one, he has to shorten hours or he has to fire people. You see the point? He's not given the option thereafter. See, if the place is doing horrible, right? If it's a slow night, I don't have to put anybody on the staff. Right? You're not working. You're not clocking in. And you're a part-time employee. I have control of that in the beginning. After the fact, which again, raising the minimum wage, all of that costs I'm already in at the beginning. So when these people try to explain to me that they know how businesses work, I know they don't.
It does fall on the employer, does it not?
You know, there are costs to raising the minimum wage.
No kidding. No kidding. Did you consider them? for 10% of the working class, right? 10% of those workers. Who are you going to affect the most? You stand in front of a big Y. That's a large organization. What about the small business owner? Are they taking that into effect or into account? No, of course not. Why else would they be standing in front of a big Y? It's optics.
That is absolutely true. But as the governor pointed out, significant costs are due to things other than the minimum wage. So yes, we well aware of what other things cost. That's a deflection. That has nothing to do with my question. Are you affecting the employers who hire these people? What happens to that minimum wage to a McDonald's? Kiosks, part-time work. Now, Susan Bicewicz said something I thought that blew my mind. She said that there were 170,000 single moms or small families that were affected by this increase. She said that the number of people who are using minimum wage jobs as entry-level positions is absolutely or barely existence. Of the 200,000 jobs that this would affect, 170,000 of them are families and single mothers. But Susan Bicewicz is wrong. How do I know? Because before I got there, I looked up that number specifically. It was bothering me. Do we have any numbers by the Bureau of Labor Statistics on how many people who make minimum wage are entry-level workers like teenagers or even 20-year-olds that got their first job versus families, single mothers, maybe even single fathers who make minimum wage? Is there a number? Is there a split out of the 200,000 numbers? Guess what? There are none in Connecticut. There's a national number, but Connecticut does not have that number. It's never counted them. There is nowhere in the Bureau of Labor Statistics locally in the state of Connecticut that has the numbers that say how many people in the minimum wage market are people who are first-time entrants into the job market versus families. There's no number. So when she quotes 170,000 of these people, where'd she get the number from? It doesn't exist. Because I checked that before I even got there. Cost to, we've got fuel costs. We have a lot of nationally impacted parts of the economy that inflation, but to balance that increase in burden of national costs on the lowest wage workers is not something that we want to do in Connecticut. We don't want to leave those lower wage workers behind. So as all costs grow, this is an additional $21.60 per week for somebody working 40 hours. So we don't want to balance inflation and other burdens on the lowest wage workers. Thanks, everyone. Anyone else, please? That's it.
Now she says, anyone else, please? And they wrapped it up. Cypress was there. He wrapped it up. That's enough, please. No one else was there to ask any questions. It was just me and Paz. Myself and Mark Paz from the Connecticut Mirror. No other people there. They wanted to bolt. It's interesting how these people do this stuff. Anyway, let's see if Tony's got it right now. Hey, Tony, you there?
Yeah, I have three important, quick talking points to make.
What do you got?
One, with the minimum wage going up, I truly believe, without gullibility, that's just a money grab so they can add more taxes into everybody's personal life structure.
It's pennies, but yes, it is. It's more taxes.
Yeah, right. More of a money grab. Secondly, the Lamont campaign that he runs commercials on 1080 AM, I want to say last year he did not help my family out with the medical assistance for the bills. Mm-hmm. And we were in the proper requirement for the cap of assistance and never received a dime, man. It's just so disgustingly, pathetically, a blatant lie.
Yeah, and disingenuous at best.
For anybody that wants to believe that. Yep. And then lastly, the flock cameras and everything, talk about a money grab, dude. Why are we still paying property tax and vehicle taxes then?
Yeah.
That's the biggest, shadiest thing going. It's not about safety, man. It's a money grab. It totally is, because it's easy money where the cameras do all the work. The politicians sleep at night, and they know they're pulling in some coins. And last but not least, one more thing.
Yeah.
Like tolls or the flock cameras, you know that the politicians in this state that make the laws are immune to it. So when their cars drive, they're not going to get pinched at all.
I'll tell you.
To all those fees.
I was going to tell you, Tony, if there's ever a sign that politicians see the polling data working against them, the flock cameras is a perfect example. Because even John Silver said at the top of the hour, there are politicians on the Democrat side who are saying, hey, let's pump the brakes on these flock cameras because it ain't looking good.
Yep.
And one of their heroes, Chris, Tony, one of their heroes, John Oliver, on HBO, did a segment this weekend ripping into the flock cameras. So and that's their base. So if their base are listening to John Oliver, they're going, yeah, we need to pull back.
Right. Let me say one more thing that's very critical here. Because I'm around your age, I'm 53 years old, man. When the cars had less aerodynamics, you felt the speed that you were going at.
Yeah.
I got pinched in Middletown a month ago coming back from the casino on Route 66 there in the center of Middletown by Wesleyan University. They got a camera.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I was only going 12 miles over the speed limit, and I got ticketed. Then I went on the Middletown website to see what
the penalty was?
Legit what a penalty was for a legit ticket. Anything over 10 miles an hour, if you're going 11 or more, you're getting a ticket. If you went 10 over, you're probably safe, but who even knows then? But with today's aerodynamic cars, bro, I'm not an intentional speeder,
You got to be careful. That's what. Listen, can I hip you to something that I use that saves me every time from speeding? Because sometimes you can have a lead foot and really not know, or you could be traveling with the flow of traffic and not really recognize that you're going over the speed limit. Can I suggest something to you that I use?
Absolutely. What do you do?
Cruise control, man. It's the best invention ever. I love it. I'm telling you, it takes all the guesswork out. I look at, like, if I got directions, if it says directions and it says 35, I hit that thing and I never worry. I never worry.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, going forward, bro, I'm on board. You know?
Man, you got to use it.
I'm very frustrated.
Thank you, man.
My 3 topics I just quickly ran by you, buddy. I hope everybody absorbs it, your listeners, you, and run with it, because they prey on ignorant and gullible people.
That's it.
Pretending it's about a different matter than what the reality really is.
You got it, Tony. Thank you, buddy. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views. Negro nonsense. Stupidest thing I read today. And, we got some election results. We got to talk about that as well. Plus the investigation into Donald Trump months into his presidency. All of that and much, much more. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Come on, Roland, let's get this out of the way now. Let's get it over with. Roland went to go see Spider-Man Brand New Day last night. I saw it Saturday night, Sunday morning, something like that. I know I got in at 11 o'clock and I was out by 2:40.
Damn.
The movie was forever. I got home roughly about 2:40, so I watched it really late. Roseanne did not go, although she is a huge fan of Tom Holland and Zendaya. She just didn't want to go, so I went. I walked out of that movie theater hating it. It was horrible. I hated every bit of it. And if I could tell you, it is as simple as this. Language. I did not like the cursing. It's Spider-Man under Tom Holland. Not that I didn't like Tobey Maguire. I really didn't do the Andrew Garfield movies. I've never seen them, and I don't really care. But Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man for me.
He wasn't a good Spider-Man.
Well, he was for me and my kids, right? So I took my kids when they were younger to Ayla and Ethan.
You talking about Toby?
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
I'm talking about the other guy.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire.
No. He was a great Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. You talking about Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, he wasn't a good.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I never saw those. Anyway, so I really, really, really liked Tobey Maguire. And again, my kids kind of grew up with him, so I have fond memories of that. And it was the first real kind of multi-action CGI Marvel kind of version of Spider-Man, so I enjoyed it. But Tom Holland, when he took the role in when he first showed up in Captain America Civil War, he just had this personality I couldn't get enough of. He's so endearing. He really captures Peter Parker in a way that's never been done. And I'm a huge fan of all three of the movies. Okay? Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. They were all great. One better than the other, but I've always loved his character. This, way too dark. Way too dark. And I know they've tried of adulting him up, but can I say this? Why did they make him like Batman? He's working with a police officer, a Puerto Rican female police officer. He's walking through the city normal. And like he's walking into office buildings in full Spider-Man regalia.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just saying, like, he looked ridiculous. That's not Spider-Man. He's swinging through the air. He was just walking around.
He did a lot of swinging through the air. He did a whole bunch of swinging through the air in that movie.
Yes, I saw that. I didn't care about the villains. I didn't care about Scorpion. I didn't care about the Hand. I didn't care about the main, because I don't want to reveal who that is. I don't care about that person. I don't care about anybody. I walked away that whole thing bored to tears.
No way.
No, it was boring.
All the action?
No.
The storyline was great?
Nope.
Yeah.
The storyline was great?
The storyline was great, man. Got a chance. It was about love. It was about sacrifice.
Missing your friends.
And the love of your life.
Yeah, that sucked. But it was, again,
And the part that was dope was the villain, how the villain was moving throughout
the movie. Yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm.
That was fire.
You like that?
You know what it reminded me of?
What's that?
It's an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
Either it's the late 90s, early 2000s with Denzel Washington.
Oh, my God, Deja Vu.
Not Deja Vu.
No, that's wrong. I apologize. Not Deja Vu. But John Goodman is in it.
Yeah, and the villain. They sing that song that they made scary now.
Yeah.
Time is on your side.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And the villain can go through person to person.
Yeah.
Yes, it was exactly very similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that movie. I didn't like it. I didn't like that Denzel Washington movie. It's one of the movies that rarely anyone ever talks about.
That was a good movie, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Because, if you're into religion and all of that,
yes,
that's why my mom made us watch it.
Yeah.
As a teaching point.
Yeah.
And
the devil will get you.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I can't remember the name of the Denzel Washington movie, but I know John Goodman is in it. He plays his partner in the police force.
Yeah, man.
I can't remember the name of that.
He gets away at the end through a cat. That was crazy.
Yes, he does. That's interesting. Like I said, I was not impressed, and I don't know if I'll go see that. I'm glad that he's not going to do the role anymore. Let's get a check of weather and traffic. Mark Christopher's here. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark. All right, Reese on the radio. First half done. Second half underway. When we return, on the phone with us will be Jonathan Barros. As you may have heard in the top of the hour news, there is a controversy between he and his primary opponent, Chris Shea. We'll hear from Jonathan Barros in his own words coming up. Also, we'll talk about the President of the United States, Donald Trump, in declassified documents that say that he was the target of a coup, I guess the only other way that you could describe it, as early as May of 2017, right into his administration. In those declassified documents, we'll go over them and the story to talk about them at length. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, please, folks, don't give me any nonsense about going after your political enemies. Nobody's trying to hear it. Speaking of which, I also want to hip you to another thing. There are plenty of people who have called this station. I think forgive me, it's not Everett. Goodness gracious. I may have forgotten his name. But who have said that they believe that there are people who support Donald Trump who will support him no matter what. Well, I've got quite the challenge for you. when we come back and after we speak to Jonathan DeBarros, because I think that cuts both ways. And I will give you a prime example of that with none other than Bernie Sanders when we return. So stand by for that. Jonathan DeBarros on the other side of the break. And much, much more right here on Reese on the Radio. Let's get another check of weather and traffic with our good friend Mark Christopher. He's back. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. I got to be honest with you. I really don't even want to get into this, but I guess I gotta. It's just going to be what it's going to be. On the line with us is candidate for the 5th District, Mr. Jonathan DeBarros. How you doing?
I'm all right, brother. How you doing?
I could be doing better. Unfortunately, I'm not. So let me just start off by saying, how are we going to resolve this, or is this just going to be the way that it is until we get the primary day?
I mean, if we're going to be honest, you want to be honest?
Yeah, of course I want you to be honest.
All right, so if we're going to be honest, I don't even want to talk. I want to talk about what's really happening here. I started my campaign.
You're muffled for some odd reason, Jonathan. You're muffled. I don't know what's up with the microphone, but you seem to be away from it or like your hands covering.
Hold on, can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
All right. So to be perfectly honest, I've been running my campaign since last year, as everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
He jumped in the race. He has every right to jump in the race. But the facts are the facts. They've been attacking my campaign, using fake accounts. A lot of his supporters who were delegates at the convention were slandering my reputation, misleading the general public, trying to steer them away from my campaign. I defend myself, and all of a sudden, they're the type of people that want to throw their rocks and hide their hands behind their back.
Okay.
I'm focused on presenting policies. I offered this man to debate me based upon policies several weeks ago, back in March, before Michelle Butello and John Buccarelli got out of the race. Mm-hmm. I offered to debate all three of them, and they refused to debate me because they don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to this campaign. In order for us to win this seat, you got to aggressively campaign against the Democrats inside the cities. Mm-hmm. I've been doing that. I've been bridging the divide between the rural, suburban, and urban communities for over a year now. They jumped in my race, and the only thing that they have is slanderous attacks. I'm defending myself, and all of a sudden,
yeah, but wait a minute. Hear me out. Okay, I understand that you're defending yourself. I understand that is the way that you see it, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to give you a counter to all of that, without all of the whole he did this and they did that and all that other stuff. Okay, and this is something I am trying to teach my team. Right, is that the people that I have to be adversarial to, I do it when I go to meet them face to face. It is not about mudslinging. It is about the facts. And when the facts are undeniable, when I'm dealing with my adversary, they look foolish because I just do that. That's it. And I try to just having this guy. Well, hear me out. No, that's not what's going on, Mark. Sorry, Mark. That's not. No. Hold on. No. That's not what's going on. This campaign, and we're talking about the focus of the campaign. And I'm saying this to Chris Shea as much as I'm saying it to you because I know they're all listening. Okay? So I know everybody is listening. This campaign is about serving the people of the 5th District. Is it not?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing.
No. Wait. Whoa. It is not the only thing that you or Chris Shea are doing. It is not. Mm-hmm. And this is one of those things, right? Again, I'm not trying to chastise anybody. I'm not the leader of this party. I don't want to be the leader of this party. To be honest with you, if I were the leader of this party, trust me, there would be checks and balances with a lot of stuff that's going on here. I don't need to be outraged about my party and in a way in which they're doing things. But I'm going to tell you this, and this is important for you and Chris, and I'm talking to you, Chris, too. Okay? This ain't about you. You either. It ain't. It is about conservatives in this state winning and beating Johanna Hayes, winning and beating Ned Lamont, about dwindling, if not defeating, the supermajority in this state. Because we know how media works here in the state, this is going to be about mudslinging between the two of you, not about policy. And while everybody else is sitting around going, hey, what about us? Everyone's focusing on the fact that you guys are a warring faction, either one of you. Now, I know I'm not going to get through you guys in any way because I know you got egos and you have personalities and you got people behind you.
I don't have an ego.
Okay, everybody's got a battery.
Actually, I just got off the phone with Senator Rob Sampson, who told me, he told me that, listen, John, I have nothing to do with what Brock Weber is doing, attempting to rehash our differences from last year. Me and Rob Sampson buried the hatchet a long time ago.
Okay.
I even had a conversation with Steve Harden a while back, and when we buried the hatchet, and we've been working together. So I have no problem with any of our state senators or our state representatives.
Okay, so let's do this then. Let's do this right here on my show. And I say it to Chris, too. Let's knock it off with the attacks and get back to governing. Get back to telling the people of the 5th District what you're going to do for them. Because I'm telling you, if I'm sitting in your district and all I hear is about you two warring, I'm going to say, it was like, come on, man, these guys don't really care about me. They care about whatever their own little issues are. And I'm sorry, that's the way that I look at it. Okay, and again, this is something, look, the Democrats already are putting knives in each other's backs over who's more socialist than the other. I mean, they're literally climbing over each other like crabs in a barrel to find out how progressive they are or how much of a big tent they are. Yet the only thing, and trust me when I tell you, they will use you and Chris Shea as an opportunity to, and you know they will, to say, look at the Republican Party, because you guys cannot get out of each other's way. And I need you to get out each other's way. Just put the knives down and say, how are we, and wait for the people to make their decisions. And when it happens at the end of the day, everybody get together and figure out how we advance the ball over the finish line with a winning score. Can that happen?
Listen, I've been asking for a debate so we could on policy, not no freaking slander.
You can't go backwards, Jonathan. That's never going to happen. He's refused to do that. So no. So what are we doing? Hold on. What are we doing with the fact that we know he won't debate? We moved on from that. And this is the thing. Look, I got to learn this in recovery every day. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. And what that means is I can't change Chris Shea. I can change Jonathan Barros. Just do that.
Absolutely. Now, that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on every day. I'm outside door knocking, boots on the ground, networking with people, getting the job done, explaining to people what my policies are and what's the difference between me and Christopher Shea's campaign. But when you're using old articles that came out from a corrupt prosecutor to misrepresent my past, to make me look like a monster, I have no choice but to defend myself with the truth.
I understand that. Defend yourself with the truth. No. That I literally, and never have I ever said to you, and we spoke about this, I have no issue with if you are being smeared for you defending yourself. But if you want to play in the mud, we can't sit around here and say they did it first. We have to be above it and make sure that our credibility is intact. And I say this because I know, because I've dealt with enough divorces to know. If we are just saying that I hit my wife because she hit me, that doesn't make me somebody defending myself. It just makes me look like a jerk, that I am the person who is willing to do the same thing that people do to me, and I'm not above it. Whether or not you're above it is remaining to be seen on either of your parts. You guys are not displaying to me the best that is in you, and I know both of you have better in you. I know you are a man of integrity. I know that Chris Shea is a man of integrity, at least to yourselves. And you need to be representing that, because the people who you wish to represent, the people that you need to represent, and when I say need to, because we need to get rid of Johanna Hayes, the people that you need to represent deserve better from either of you.
Hey, I've been working my ass off for 17 months to bring my policies to the people, and that's why the people is going to stand behind me on August 11th, and then I'm going to take it to Johanna Hayes in November, and we're going to win the first victory in 2 decades.
So good. I'm going to ask you, as much as I'm going to ask Chris Shea, you know the telephone number here. Call it today. Are we going to lay down our arms and get back to to running this campaign so that we get to it for the 11th and may the best man win?
Absolutely. That was my goal from the very beginning.
Okay, so I have your word.
I'm good. Listen, I'm good.
I have your word.
I'm ready. I'm going to fight all the way to the end, but I'm fighting for
I have your word, Jonathan.
I have my word that what?
I have that. No, I didn't say defend yourself. Of course you should defend yourself, but you should make this campaign about governing the people, of being able to do the due diligence of the people of the 5th District. Yes?
Absolutely. I'm the one that has policies. He's the one claiming that we have the same policies, but he hasn't disclosed his policies.
Okay, fair enough. So I have your word that you are going to campaign for the people of the 5th District.
Absolutely. That's why I'm doing it.
Thank you. That's all I care about. And I will give Chris Shea the opportunity to call up and do the same. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
You got it. I'm sorry. But I'm being 100%, as they say in the hood, 100. It's literally at the level of bad comedy. It just is. It's at the level of bad comedy. Chris Shea, by the way, Adam, please contact them. Please contact them. Over at Chris Shea. Give him the telephone number. I want to hear from him. Because it's only going to get worse unless people step up and just say, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not taking that call. I'm not taking that call. It's not going to happen because then it's just pile on. I talked to the person in the campaign. That conversation happened. The next phone call I take that's related to this story is coming from Chris Shea. Chris Shea will have the number. He can pick up the phone and he can talk to me. Okay? We could nip this in the bud. Now, look, with all due respect, I can ride the wave of this nonsense until we get to the 11th. But I am not cheap. Just understand that about me. I am not cheap. I dead that nonsense. I put an end to it because all of that stuff is nothing more than campaign fodder. It's a whole bunch of gossip column stuff. I don't work for People magazine. I never have and I never will. And everybody else chomping a bit. Oh, look, they're calling each other names. Oh, great story. Oh, more copy. I get it. People are upset. Emotions are high. What do you think? I'm going to be upset about every person that said they won't say anything nice about me. They say horrible things about me. That's going to happen. If Jonathan Barros makes it through, it's going to be even rougher. Joanna Hayes is going to pull out all the stops. Are you kidding me? The Democrats are going to be brutal. If they get an impression, they get one impression. Oh, my God, Joanna Hayes could lose? Shea's going to be the same thing. They're going to pull out all the stops there, too. You're going to talk about your feelings getting hurt. Far worse than that's going to happen in this campaign. Joanna Hayes isn't in it to lose. If we can't handle this, and both of these guys are on the same page policy-wise, we can't handle this. And though, if I haven't said this enough, I don't know if I'm cut from a different cloth, but if I haven't said this enough, have you seen the yahoos here in the state? Joanna Hayes, I could beat her campaign with my pinky. I could beat myself in the head with a hammer and still outsmart this woman. And I am not kidding. Her campaign is a joke. I've learned more things about Joanna Hayes in the year that I've been here that I care to even remember, and I could use every bit of that against her. I could beat her campaign again with my brain tied behind my back. There is no way I would lose to her. And everybody in here knows that. This is not a difficult campaign. When I hear this thing about everybody wants everything but has no idea how to get it. And this, what I'm seeing, is a clear example of people who do not know how to get what they want. Focus is job one. Focus. That's not happening here. And you tell me anybody else in the world who doesn't know that. You tell me any coach. You tell me any champion, any winner who does not understand the importance of focus. I got nothing else to tell you. That's the way I'm looking at it. So, Chris Shea, the offer is yours. If I don't get it, if you don't want to call up and say you're going to put down, I guess we know what it is then. I don't want to hear about the end results. To be honest with you, I'm done with this story. Outside of hearing Chris Shea say, this is a serious campaign and we're going there to go serve the people of the 5th District. Okay? I hope that helps in some way. We come back, more news, more views. Mark Christopher is back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Stay locked in. Reese on the radio is on WTIC. News Talk 1080.
All right, we're back. Oh, I still have that up there. I didn't even realize I did that. Anyway, do I have time to do this? I think it looks like I do. Where is it? I just have to. There it is. Right there.
Very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
The stupidest thing I read today comes from Reason.com. And in the vein of what happened in Danbury, Connecticut, this story is timely. Picture the level of competence that Dane County, Wisconsin cops have after hunting what they thought was a creep who was on that website Kik, K-I-K. His handle was fuss_row_da, D-A-H. One underscore, just one single underscore that was put in wrong by the Dane County, Wisconsin Police Department caused the man to be locked up for 18 months. Here's the story. That typo landed Canadian Brandon claiming, with no matching evidence of even being on a device that they found, of being someone who was a creep trying to hook up with, of course, a 12-year-old. That person was another guy. But because the police department missed one underscore in the handle on Kik, this guy got locked up for 18 months in Nova Scotia. He finally got appealed. Now imagine that. They didn't even review the evidence that cleared him for 18 months. He was tried and convicted and stayed in jail for 18 months. And on his appeal, they found out that the whole thing was wrong. I don't know about you, but I would sue them for everything and their ancestry. Everybody has got to go straight to the bank and deposit everything they own. That's how wild. You got to be, again, this is the whole thing. The Danbury Police Department, they're the ones who said it. They put in the driver's license. No. Just got to be, nothing against the cops. Clerical errors can happen. Clearly can. But, dude, 18 months? Damn. That's the stupidest thing I read today. Let's get another check of traffic and weather. Mark Christopher is almost back. He should be back now. There he is. He's in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let me tell you something, man. And this is bottom line. Okay? And this is absolutely bottom line. You don't want to have to hear my voice. Nobody does. If Johanna Hayes wins that seat again. Nobody does. That's the only thing you need to recognize. And guess what? I will take every one of the listeners, every one of them. I will give them the entire show to lose it. Because again, there it is, right there at our fingertips. The momentum of this party is different today. I don't know if you see it. I don't know if y'all see it, but I do. The energy is there. It wasn't here in 2022. I was here in 2022. You know what you all sounded like? Crap, by 2023, y'all had all but given up. Remember that? I remember it. Y'all were giving me the ho-hums. 2024 came around. You gave me a little bit of it. I told you, yeah, all right. Trust me. Remember, it was me walking you all from the ledge. No. Get back here. Get back here. No. Get off the ledge. Trust me. Come here. I don't know, Reese. I don't know. I don't think so, Reese. I don't think so. Okay, Reese, I'm going to try. I said, okay. I told everybody the day after Election Day, we were going to get together at Wooden Tap. And I said either it was going to be a celebration or it was going to be a funeral. And what happened? After 2022, nobody thought, it was like, nah, we just now going to. And sure enough, what was it the next day? Everybody excited again. Can't believe it, they said. But there it was. And then we get here. 2025 rolls around. Reese on the radio starts taking over the helm. I start cutting through the nonsense. Start giving a little bit of guidance. Start trying to build you up a little bit. Believe in yourself. Don't believe in me. Believe in yourselves. And look where we are now. Where are we now? People are thinking, do you think? Is it possible? Libs are scared. Libs are nervous. Why? How could that possibly be? That whole nonsense talking about the supermajority, people don't even talk about that anymore. I don't even hear the words, it'll always be the same, Reese. People aren't talking like that anymore. And I know it's not because of me. The record speaks for itself. Not my record, not Fazio's record, not the Republicans' record. Theirs. The Democrats' record. They're in disarray. Everything about them is phony and fake. People are leaving. People are fed up. People are planning to go. 5 years down the road, exit strategy. This guy's bragging about 10% of the workforce getting a 59 cents an hour raise, a measly $23.60. This guy's taking a victory lap, and then has the audacity to go out and hold a press conference about another couple of cents he's going to give you in January. Let me help out a couple of people, by the way, before I go off the beaten path. Ned Lamont, anyone here who has ever made any amount of money, and I know there's some people who are going to agree with me here, especially if you have ever been in your life the working poor, because I know there's a lot of you out there. I talk to you all the time, and I love you guys. Those guys, these guys would, these are my beer and pizza guys who grew up. Middle class, sometimes lower middle class, working poor, work their way up here in Connecticut. They understand me when I talk about this. Ned Lamont, let me help you with something. Never talk to anybody about a future income they can't see today. See, here's the thing that nobody knows about the poor. And they better get to know it. Poor people never count money they never see. It means nothing to them. So when Ned Lamont is bragging about an earned tax credit that you're going to get from the from the tax department, nobody cares about that. They never see that money because they only care about the check they get, not the taxes taken out. Gone money is gone. They can't spend it. Nobody spends future money. Bragging about 58 cents you're going to get in January means nothing to a poor person today. They can't do anything with it. They can't even plan on it. So please stop talking to the working poor like future earnings means anything to them. They care about paying the bills today, eating today. Some of them are worried about eating in the next hour. In order for you to understand the poor, you have to understand how the poor operates when it comes to money. And they only spend what they know. And many of them are already spending the money on next week's check. If you know anything about poor people, do you know what's the worst word to a poor, working poor person? Biweekly. When an employee who is a working poor finds out that their paycheck is bi-weekly, it's the worst word they can hear. Bi-week. Oh, every 2 weeks, now they have to budget. Poor people hate that word. Is it technically 2 words? I consider it 1 word. I could run this thing with my head on backwards. These people don't understand the poor. But anyway, back to my point. You have to understand that everyone is frustrated. Everyone has had enough. Even the Democrats here have had enough. They're tired. Seize on that. Republicans have spent a whole lot of time. When I got here, all you could talk about was the other side. Those other people over there, they're crazy. All those people over there, they're insane. What did I say? Listen to them. Find out what's on their mind. Why do we even bother? It's important to know why. You do want to appeal to them, right? You do want them to see your point of view, right? You do want them to stop the crazy, don't you? Well, how do you think that happens? Ignoring them, chastising them, screaming at them, calling them crazy, dismissing them. Flies with honey. How many other ways do I have to explain it? And I literally argued with folks here. I really drew, and I'm talking about, some people got mad at me when I said that you people were sitting up here complaining, but none of you know how to win. You haven't won. You can't sit up here and tell me about a winning strategy when you got no wins on the table. You got no trophies to show for it. All you got is angst. You can't come to me talking about coaching the team with all the losses. You can't. With all due respect, that's how I know when I know how to win, because I know where to win. I know what I can win with. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying it because that's a fact. I got all these people screaming and hollering at me, talking about because of this, that. It was like, no offense, Rich Kotite, take a seat. That's a Jets reference. Only the football guys got that one. Please. All that other stuff, that's why I cut through that rigmarole. I could do this all day with the whole, let's fuel the fire. Oh, Jonathan, say something about his mother. I could do that all day. But imagine what people would have thought of me. Damn, Reese, I thought you were better than that. Yes, I am. We got word from Chris Shay's folks. They said they're good. They're outdoor knocking. They were listening. I'm happy that they were. Get to the business of serving the people of the 5th District. May the best man win. When it's all over, let's go out there and go for the prize. Let's just win. That's the way I see it. Let's just win. And if you don't want to, if everybody wants to lick their wounds and get angry and be upset and take their ball and go home, that's okay. That's all right. But please don't sit in the background screaming and hollering and throwing, paper at us, being a disruptor. If you don't want to chime in, if you don't want to participate, that's fine. Because then I will know. All of us will know. It was never about winning. It was about winning on your terms. And guess what? We can accept that too. Hi, Lori.
Hey, Reese. I wanted to just confirm what you've been saying. One of the things that the Democrats have been done so well up to this point, before this whole Antichrist agenda, socialist agenda that's coming out, up until this point, what they did best was rally. And so this whole drama between these two gentlemen is not good for the party. It's not. What are we, the two high school girls, like trying to fight, and you know what I mean? Like, stop it. And to your point about coach, the Red Sox at the beginning of the season fired Alex Cora.
Oh my goodness!
And everybody was like, "What? What's happening?" Because the team was losing.
Yeah,
they weren't winning. So they went to a different strategy, and they got a different coach. And now here we are. All of the people like myself who gave up in May are now trying to figure out what's happening.
Right.
Because we have a team who has clawed their way up past 500.
Yep.
And so why can't the Republican Party recognize that, we can't continue to use the same playbook. We can't. Not if we're, and get out of your tunnel, get out of your bubble, rally around the people that we think are going to win, and just go with it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we need to do. Everybody just needs to get their thumbs out of their butts and do their job.
I would go so far as to say this, that look, if we're really looking at this as a winnable opportunity against Johanna Hayes, somebody's going to have to jump on the grenade and sacrifice themselves for the win.
Right.
It's like we will take your sacrifice and say, if not for you, we wouldn't be here. That's the way it's got to be done. But guess what? The only way we get that person who jumps on the grenade, we need a willing participant. We need two people who are willing to say, if all else fails, I will give my life for that win. And I mean that figuratively. But you know my point.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I just want to say one controversial thing before I let you go, because I know you're coming up against a break. But the issue with Mr. Barros is this. When Daniel needed to fight, he did it quietly. He did it in prayer. He did it with the Lord. He went into the lion's den. He didn't fight it. The Lord protected him. If he really believed that the Lord was calling him to this office, he wouldn't have to fight so hard.
That's right.
Just that God is in the midst of it.
Exactly. The integrity, this is what I always say about integrity. Your integrity shines through without effort. Because it is. Right? It's truth. Truth shines through without effort because it needs no force. It is.
Exactly.
Yeah. God bless you, Lori.
Thank you, sir.
You got it. It just is. That's the whole point. Things are what they are. You don't need to force it. I hope you. Yes, by the way, thank you, Alex Q. The movie was Fallen. I think he went back to listen to part of the show. We were talking about the Denzel Washington movie that is similar to the plot in the new Spider-Man film. Fallen was the name of the film with Denzel Washington and John Goodman. A movie that I barely watched because I don't like horror, supernatural films anyway. I don't like any of that stuff. I don't like jump scare stuff. Like, I don't like horror films. I don't like any of that stuff. I just don't. Talk about how about the Red Sox? Give it up for them, huh? Huh? They were straight garbage the first half of the season. What are they going, win number 5? I think they're going for win number 5 in a row. After doing the 15 in a row. I'm proud of them. I'd like to see them win another championship. Why not? Why not? I want to go to those horrible Yankees. Oh, I just realized what I said. I'm sorry, Yankee fans. I'm sorry. There's a lot of you out there. Sorry. I'm sorry. I know you guys love the Yankees. I'm sorry. Listen, it's a friendly rivalry, okay? I don't wish the worst, okay? Not a fan. Mark Christopher.
It's Reese on the radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Let's do the thing. News. Hey, happy birthday goes out to someone called Youngblood, an English singer-songwriter known for the album Weird. They turned 29. Kid, don't know him. Dawn Richer, a singer from Danity Kane. I know them. I think I've heard of them. She turns 43 Travie McCoy, the front man from Gym Class Heroes, I know that band, he turns 45. Terry Clark, the Canadian country singer, turns 58. That's an oxymoron, by the way. And Pat Smear, the guitarist for the Foo Fighters and Nirvana, turned 67 on this day. On this day in music in 1957, American Bandstand made its national television debut on the ABC network. I loved Bandstand when I was growing up. In 1966, the Beatles released their groundbreaking album Revolver in the UK. In 1975, my arch nemesis, Stevie Wonder, signed a then record $13 million contract with Motown Records. Reese on the Radio has been upset about it ever since. In 1978, the Rolling Stones hit number one with their Billboard Hot 100 record called Miss You. I love Stones. And in 1989, Prince is back in the news today. In 1989, Prince scored a number one hit with Bat Dance from the Batman soundtrack on this day in 1989. I remember it vividly. This album was heavily circulated in my neighborhood. Prince, Batman, Vicky Vale. I think Kim Basinger was rumored to have been involved with Prince during the production of that album. Mark Christopher, he's back.
From politics to news to music to movies and anything above the sun and outer space and beyond, it's Reese on the Radio. Damn, he's good. Only on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
All right, we're back. Reese on the Radio. I'm sorry that Roseanne didn't come in today because she actually had some plans with a friend of hers to help out another friend of ours who's moving. So she didn't make it in today. She'll probably be in tomorrow and Friday. So she misses you. She wanted me to make sure that I told you that. She thought about it. She was like, oh, I really want to come in, but I made promises that I would do this thing, and she's going to do that. So there were some phone calls that I got here on the show and messages that I've had. I've had debates with people on the left often. And one of the biggest issues that you will hear from people who say that they're not Democrats, they'll call themselves anything from unaffiliated to independent. And I'm not talking about those who are really, unaffiliated. People who are really just liberals. But they clearly do not like Donald Trump. And one of the big things that bother them is that people who support Trump will go to any length to run interference for him. I'm accused of it very often. You will do anything to protect Donald Trump, they say. Anything. He can do no wrong, they say. No matter what he does, you protect him and you stand with him. He doesn't care about you, and you will do anything. And I go, all right, ridiculous. That is something that they find themselves really, tethered to. The idea that if you are a MAGA person, you will not criticize Donald Trump. Why don't you criticize him? So I just want to let you know that Democrats, you're kind of going through this right now. In essence, you always have. You see, for a lot of years, Democrats never stood up and defended a lot of things that they used to defend. When the transgender movement started to emerge and burrow into the Democrat Party, you said nothing. As they started to get involved in women's sports, you took a back seat. When the question arose, what is a woman? You became Porky Pig. Blah, 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 blah. You couldn't answer. Even your beloved Black Queen, Supreme Court Justice. Remember, we had to have a black woman Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. White husband not included. She said, when asked by Marsha Blackburn, what is a woman? She said, I'm not a biologist. As she sit there with female body parts, had no idea, could not bring herself to identify herself. You did this for years. It didn't matter what it was. If it defied the biology, if it defied reason, you wouldn't utter a word. You stood by it, didn't you? It's obvious. Why you sit there and say, why don't they? Why don't they ever step away from Donald Trump? Why don't they admit when he's done something wrong? Well, take your own advice. As I like to say here on the program, you first. Right? You first. You should at least lead by example, right? Because you're not the type of person who would go along to get along. Wasn't it I who came up with the 9 compromises, ladies and gentlemen? I said, if you want us to denounce Trump, just adhere to the 9 compromises. What did you all do? Like you literally, we're talking about, dude, guys were crapping the bed online to say, no, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. So again, you're willing to accept everything of your party. It doesn't matter how ridiculous they go. You will sign on. You know why? Because you need everyone. Just ask Bernie Sanders. Goodness.
Is that Piker said America deserved 9/11. Are you comfortable with that association?
No, I am not. I think that's a dumb statement. On the other hand, he has a whole lot of followers, and there's a lot of things that he's saying that are making sense to a lot of people. I think, we have to get above cancel culture.
To give you an example, one of the more controversial ones is that Piker said America deserved 9/11. Are you comfortable with that association?
No, I am not. I think that's a dumb statement. On the other hand, he has a whole lot of followers, and there's a lot of things that he's saying that are making sense to a lot of people.
He's got a whole lot of followers, folks. Bernie Sanders says it doesn't matter. He can say whatever he wants. Freedom of speech. He's got a whole lot of followers, and we can't avoid them. We can't afford to lose them. We have to keep them. It doesn't matter what he said. Yes, it was a bonehead thing to say, but we need him. We made him. Absolutely. Yes. He can say that me as a Jew, I don't deserve to live. I need him. Absolutely. Says that our country should become a Muslim nation. Doesn't matter. I need all of his supporters. That's Bernie Sanders. Hey, don't take my word for it. He's saying it right here. Listen.
I think, we have to get above cancel culture. When you're doing radio, whatever they do, podcasts 3 hours a day, you say dumb things. I suspect if you go back over your career, there may be 1 or 2 things that you said that you may have regretted.
He's a kid. You never know. These young people, they say dumb things. I sound like Jackie Mason now. They say dumb things. I'm pretty sure when you were young, you said some dumb things yourself.
But I think what we have got to do is look at the totality of where people are coming from and go forward.
We have to see where they're coming from and go forward. So it doesn't matter what they believe. We need them in the tent. Oh, no. Sorry. Let him say it.
So when someone like James Carville says he doesn't want to be in the same political party as Hassan Piker, which one are you going to take?
Now, you would think, here's a man, folks, even your buddy, James Carville, the raging Cajun, says that if Hassan Piker is going to be in my party, he is doing what you want MAGA folks to do. I'm out. He says it. I'm out. If Hassan Piker is going to be the standard bearer, or at least one of the people we're going to be, going on the stump with, I'm out. I can't go along with this. This guy's an anti-Semite buffoon. I can't be a part of this. I'm done with the party. What do you think Bernie Sanders said? Why guess?
Well, that's not much of a choice. If Mr. Carville doesn't want to be
in my party, the party that I belong to, that Pica, that Al-Sayed belongs to, he can start his own party. But I think we need a big tent, and I think people like Pica should be welcomed into that, certainly.
That's right. He should be welcomed. He should be welcomed. You got no wins here, folks. Okay? So stop it. Will you still support Trump if he does? Yes. Yes. Because I need him. We have to get rid of council culture. Come on! I'm just saying. The problem is this is you. That's why you want us to, because you weren't willing to do any of that. Not once. Not a smidgen worth. Abort your babies up to the date of birth. Where did you stand on that? Not calling it reproductive care. Where were you? Huh? Well, that's what you gave me. You gave me the well. Couldn't say it. Right? And because of this, and this is the thing you need to realize, and I'm talking directly to liberals or you ambiguous folks out there. This is why the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, and El Said won last night. This is the reason why they have those wins. You're never going to say anything. You are willing to accept anything because you need to win. You will align yourself with the worst of people. When you have gone so far to hate someone, a group of people, a movement, an ideology, if you are willing to hate those people so much that you are willing to align with anyone, even if they are against your values, this says nothing about the people you oppose and everything about you. So while everybody else is sitting up here telling us, like, well, I had to join the Satanist. I just had to, because Donald Trump was going to destroy the country. You know, I had to become a communist because I was worried about fascism. I just had to do it. It's gotten so bad. The only people who were stepping up were these people. You have no principles. You have no morals. While you sit around talking about how your morals are better than everybody else's, you are willing to join the worst people. You are willing to align your people with very, very shady and disgusting and despicable people. And you're willing to reason with it. It's like, yes, I know that what they're talking about is the extermination of Jews, but Trump, yeah. I understand that Hamas is a terrorist organization, and these people on the college campuses may be aligning themselves with terrorists, but Trump could do far worse than them, Hamas, they've done some things here and there, bombed some things, killed some people, but Donald Trump, the ends justify the means. Don't preach to me. Don't. You people have done this for a long time now. I've watched you do it. That's why you have no credibility. Not with me and not with anybody else. And I don't care about anybody else who sit up here and gets frustrated with you. I'm here to beat you, and I know exactly how to beat you. Because guess what? You have no morals. You have no ethics at all. And worst off, you have no credibility. And all I need to do is to reach the reasonable ones. And they know it. There's a reasonable person right now sitting next to you. There's a reasonable person in the car next to you. There's a reasonable person at your job who's saying, as you guys get more and more wackadoodle, who's going, yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't think I could join that cult. I don't think I can literally sacrifice everything that I believe in life just so I can beat Trump. A guy will be gone in 2.5 years, probably a little less than that. Gone over kaput. I don't think I am willing to literally lay down with dogs in order to get it done. That's just my point. If you want to call up, you can. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. Speaking of Trump, we'll talk about this John Solomon report in Just the News about the full criminal probe into Donald Trump, into his just literally months into his first administration in 2017. We'll talk about that as well as take your phone calls. 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842, and we'll recap the opening monologue with my conversation with Ned Lamont. Mark Christopher, he is back. He is in the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
The Odyssey app lets you jump back to the moments you missed from WTIC News Talk 1080. Download the free Odyssey app, search WTIC News Talk 1080, and tap earlier today to get started.
I cannot believe that I lost that story. And I'm going to have to wait. Do I have to wait until tomorrow? I hope I don't have to wait until tomorrow. But I'll stand by for the next break to bring it up. But anyway, speaking of which, don't forget, my birthday party is on August 14th at Stadium 15. We're running ads for it all week. It happens, 9 days from now, right? 9 days? Today's the what? The 5th or the 6th? Yeah, 9 days from now. At Stadium 15. Now, in Stadium 15, which is located in Farmington at 15 Farm Springs Drive. It's way back by the, what's that called? The RBX building. So it's a turnoff right off the exit. I think exit 37 on 84. And you can't miss it. It's right there. I think Otis, the elevator place, is over there as well. I think that's the Otis elevator place, is right there as well in that little, you got to go all the way back to the end to where the old Marriott is. And Stadium 15 is right next door, and we'll be there from 2 to 6 broadcasting live. And then after 6 o'clock, we're going to do some other stuff. Now, they told me they would have karaoke there. I don't know if that's true, Adam 12. I think they plan on having karaoke there. I hope they would have karaoke there. Let me be the first to say, not every RTX. Thank you. I appreciate you, Michael A. RTX. What did I say? RBX? RTX. That's all right. I appreciate you. By the way, I don't know if everybody should do karaoke. I do karaoke, but limited karaoke. I sing standards. One of my favorite karaoke songs is Gigolo by David Lee Roth, or at least his version, because his is a remake. And I do a lot of Sinatra stuff. My favorite Sinatra song is The Summer Wind, but I am a little, I love That's Life. That's kind of my go-to. Like if I want to, knock it out of the park, Frank Sinatra's That's Life, I tear it up every time. So I don't know if we're going to have karaoke. I heard we're going to have karaoke, but I will confirm that before we come, we do the live broadcast. If I haven't told the folks over at Between Rounds to be there, I got to give them a holler and let them know to come out. I love seeing Jerry and Lori Puya, as well as their son and daughter, Chris and Caitlin, yes, as well. So I hope they'll come out. Mark Christopher will be at home, but I hope that he shows up as well, as he does every 8.
Come on, give us a little preview. Come on.
I'm not going to do it.
That's what all the
people say.
Yeah.
You're riding
high in April, shot down in May.
But I know
I'm not going to do it. You didn't put me on the spot.
I know, you didn't even get to warm your voice up.
I didn't get to warm up.
back on top.
Top in June. I love this song, too. So I'll tell you real quick.
Sinatra.
I'll tell you real quick. So a guy invited me to a bar and restaurant, and they were doing karaoke that night. The guy says to me, "I will pay you $1, Reese, if you sing." What's up, everybody? You know who it is.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Yeah, by the way, if you haven't heard about it, the White House Government Transparency Task Force released newly declassified FBI documents on August 5th today, showing that on May 16, 2017, just 7 days after President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey, the FBI opened a full criminal and counterintelligence investigation into the sitting president. The investigation was codenamed Oxford Comma. Oxford Comma. Oh, my God, that's one of my favorite vampire, oh, goodness gracious, why am I forgetting the name of the group? Vampire Weekend. That's one of my favorite songs by him. Oxford Comma. Anyway, a deliberate misspelling of Oxford Comma. The opening electronic communications stated the FBI was launching a full investigation based on an articulable factual basis that President Donald Trump may be or has been wittingly or unwittingly involved in activities for on behalf of the government of the Russia Federation, which may constitute violations of federal criminal law or threats to the national security of the United States. So you can read that. Anyway, let me get to the phones, 860-522-9842. First, did I do that? Wow. I did. I threw my microphone all the way up. Let's go to the first call. Timmy is on the line. How you doing, sir?
Well, I'm doing pretty well. I was very tickled when I heard this discussion that you had with one of the candidates for Congress, and how if one of them dropped out, then they could defeat Johanna Hayes.
Did I say that?
I am no fan of Johanna Hayes whatsoever.
Did I say that?
But when you've got did
I say that somebody should drop out?
No, if one of them did and fell on the sword and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, what I meant by that was,
Party.
what I said was that one person is willing to jump on a grenade in this situation. It's like you have got to go into the race when you're going into a primary, understanding that the objective is to defeat, in this case, your figurative enemy. And one of you may have to be the one that has to fall on the grenade in order to sacrifice yourself to win the election, is what I suggested. I didn't say anybody should drop out.
That's all good and fine and stuff. When you've got talking about two candidates who've raised very, very little money, no websites, they don't have people in the streets and whatsoever, and you're going against the Democratic machine, the teachers' unions, and everybody else against a sitting Congresswoman, please.
You said that
you got to be. What are you smoking, dude? That's unbelievable.
Okay, Tim.
We've got all these Republicans that are. You've got.
I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to try one more time with this knucklehead.
Come here.
Were you talking that entire time?
So you've got to
stop, Tim. Stop
talking.
No, you're not. Stop talking for the sake of talking. I'll let you talk. It is an exchange in conversation. Okay? You are saying that none of them have any wins against Johanna Hayes. You say they've got no money and they're not running. They don't have people on the street. They're not doing. Chris Hayes, his people just called my folks and let us know that they were currently door knocking. What are you talking about? They have no people on there. What insight do you have into either? You didn't. Let me finish. Let me finish the question, sir. What insight do you have in any of their campaigns? I can't hear you, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Right,
what insight do you have into their campaigns?
Look, I'm just
Please
saying.
Please don't change the subject. Answer my question. You're talking over me and you're not answering my question. Let's try it again before I put you on hold. One more time. What insight do you have into their campaigns?
I think that the
Just say I don't. Just say I don't. Say I don't.
Well, if you won't let me speak, then
I want an answer to my question, and I'll be happy to let you speak.
As somebody who's run,
let's try it again. I'll be happy to let you speak after you answer my question. Let's try it again. What insight do you have into their campaign? Then you can speak. Answer my question, then speak. What insight do you have into them?
I have no
insight. Thank you. Now, go ahead with your point.
Filing of the reports.
Okay.
Other than the filing of the financial reports, the fact that I do not see websites, all of that stuff is there.
Okay.
As someone who's actually run campaigns
Chris Shea
and
doesn't have a
actually
website?
Elected people, I can tell
You've
you
elected nobody,
that having
sir.
10 people door knocking.
Do you really
is not
think
the
that
same as
do you
having,
think that shouting over me is
200
going to?
people.
Do you think shouting over me is having a conversation with me?
Do you think putting words into my mouth that
So
you
just
want to
answer
say,
the question.
I'm just saying.
You said Chris Shea doesn't have a website. Does he have a website?
Look, these people have no chance.
Yeah, I know. All right,
Yeah.
thank you. The whole problem is, you know what Tim will tell you all day? Donald Trump lies, Donald Trump lies, Donald Trump lies. And then I'll sit here and listen to him lie. I'll try one more time. You want to try it again?
Are you going to pod me down and then talk over me?
I cannot help it, but when you lie, and that's obviously what you're doing, and you refuse to have an honest, conversation with me because you think that this is about yelling, like I'm not going to give you an opportunity to talk. Tim, I'm literally giving you an opportunity to talk, but you cannot stop lying. So just do your best to try to debate me, which you're going to lose anyway. So just talk about the facts. Chris has a website. Barros has a website. These guys are on the ground doing the work. You say that they're not. Well, you have no evidence to back that up. Just move on. What else you got?
Dude, they don't have the millions of dollars that it needs to defeat a candidate, a sitting congressional candidate. I'm just saying, as a political experience that I've had winning campaigns.
What campaign did you win, sir? What campaign did you win?
I'm still looking at
what campaign did you win?
You have somebody from the second district. I can't hear the eagerness. The first district.
I cannot hear the eagerness in your voice about the campaign that you won. What campaign did you win?
So basically, Reese,
I'm waiting, sir. What's the campaign that you won?
You don't understand Green Party politics, do
What's
you?
The campaign?
That we've elected people in,
name
city halls and stuff.
Yes, so they should be literally at the tip of your tongue when I ask. What campaign did you win?
Elizabeth Horton Chef, for example.
What did she win? Dog walker?
Do your history about black candidates.
But okay,
first,
you won the campaign.
Get yourself together.
You won the campaign. Educate me.
So
what campaign did you win of hers?
Before you do it.
What did she win?
So all of these people. Look,
what did she win? Employee of the month? Did she win Employee of the Month? Was she the best scooper at Baskin Robbins? What did she win?
Look, I've won in the city of Providence. I won a city council race.
What did she win?
In the city of Hartford, a city council race. Good Lord, man! I know you don't understand. You just want to have a dog and pony show and all that sort of stuff.
No, you called up
Republican. I know, but I'm just saying. Good luck on this cheerleading.
All right, thank you. I've given you enough oxygen. I miss you, Tim. Thank you for coming back. Evan is on the line. Evan, of course, always calls in at the end of the show. You heard my diatribe, Evan, about wanting Donald Trump supporters to admit he's done something wrong, but it looks like the Democrats can't do the same.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't able to hear it, but I'm here now. So I appreciate it, though, if you're saying that you did it.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is that while people keep asking Donald Trump supporters to denounce him when he's done something wrong, I'm talking about the years that the Democrat Party have seen their party politics go off the rails. Women are not, men can be women. Boys can play in girls' sports. Boys can be inside girls' locker rooms. When they go directly against, how about this one? They demand for photo ID, but the Democrats say no. They ignore it wholeheartedly. Not once have the Democrat Party been able to say, hey, man, at once, could we actually separate ourselves from our party politics? They go along to get along. The thing that they keep asking us to do with Donald Trump, they are not willing to do themselves, Evan. That's the point I was making.
Hey, I still think both parties should definitely do what you're saying and what I'm saying.
Yes, but here's my point, is that, Evan, you have made it your business to actually ask Republicans will you finally denounce MAGA? Will you finally denounce Trump? The point is that you've got your own crap to deal with, right? And within stuff that I'll put it to this way, we can have hold on. We can have a debate about what Donald Trump does with Iran. Those things are obviously geopolitical discussions we can have.
Yeah.
But but the nonsense that you guys are actually co-signing. We're talking about hardcore co-signing that make absolutely no sense.
Well, check this out. You'll like this then.
Yes.
I am. Let's not make assumptions. I'm not a Democrat.
Okay. Then what are you?
So that's definitely not true. I'm a progressive, but let's skip that.
Okay.
I had to make a point. So if you're asking, am I willing to say the exact same thing I wanted Republicans to do about Democrats? I'm saying it right now. Democrats, get on board too.
Okay, so Democrats need to get on board. So men cannot be women. Reproductive health is not abortion, and it can never be one and the same. You cannot abort a baby up until the date of birth. Okay, let me see. What's the other thing?
You and I agree on some of those points, not all.
All right. Well, some of those points.
Yeah. Can I say one? And I appreciate this. We're trying here.
Yeah. No problem.
The one thing I wanted to bring up that I was calling in about is I want to know, and I guess I could ask you or what we think Republicans would do. We're on like day 60 of Trump saying we're getting a deal with Iran today. Let's say he does. Let's say it happens at like 9 o'clock tonight.
Okay. If
Trump says we got a deal, it's signed, check it out, they're not allowed to enrich uranium past 3%, and we have international watchers in there reporting to us daily that they're not doing, and all we have to do is give them $1 billion. Would we be thrilled?
No.
Why not?
Well, the $1 billion, you're saying the United States gives that $1 billion?
Correct.
No, I will not finance people who hate us. Hell no.
So no matter what, so we'd rather spend more than that per day and not have a deal.
I would rather bomb them until the 18th century.
So like spend
No. We're talking about
dead people.
We're talking about me. Yes, absolutely.
So you know, I mean, I know you're saying no because you know that was the deal that Obama got that Trump.
Yeah, I don't care who had the deal. I told you what my objective is, and I know there are some Republicans who don't agree with me, but I want them all the way to the Stone Age. I want them literally. I want them like Barney Rubble when I'm done. Ting, 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 ting.
Just to know, because I know you only got like a minute left. How do you do that currently?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. But I'm just telling you what I want. I'm just telling you what I want.
I appreciate you telling me what you want. I mean, I want this all to be done, so at least we could say what we want.
I hear you.
Yeah,
let me get one.
Maybe think about like how you get there.
Evan, let me get one more before I get out of here. You got to call earlier. I know you don't, but you got to call earlier.
I'm gonna try.
Come to my birthday party.
I love that place.
Okay, come to my birthday party.
All right.
Okay, you got it. Craig in the car. Before we get out of here, what do you got, boss?
Just when I thought I had found the cure for that constant ringing in my ears, Tim shows up again.
He loves it here. Are you kidding me? He's addicted to this show.
Oh, I didn't think it was possible, but he's worse.
All right, 30 seconds. What do you got?
All right. I only heard you mention it for a brief second, but tell us a little bit more about the Sirius XM thing. I'm really curious.
Okay, so what it is that Odyssey and Sirius now has a deal that there are several news networks, 19 in total, that are now going to be broadcast on the Sirius, I guess, airwaves, and WTIC is one of them. Because Sirius doesn't have any stronghold in the New England area, so we were chosen. So you will be able to hear the Reese on the Radio program and all the broadcasting here on WTIC on Sirius.
During your normal time slot?
Yep,
It's
absolutely.
No.
Just during the regular time slot.
Oh, man, I can't wait for that because I travel a lot, and sometimes I
there you go.
Other than on satellite.
Yep, I got to get up out of here, Craig. I'll talk to you soon. All right, as I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your mind. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the radio. You have a good night, a pleasant tomorrow. Mark Christopher's here. He's getting